Imagine this. It's just past midnight. You're alone in a concrete bunker. Red lights flood the room. A computer screen screams one word in giant letters. Launch. 5 American nuclear missiles are heading toward your country. You have minutes to decide. Follow protocol and report the attack. Or trust your gut and risk everything. One man faced exactly that choice on September 26, 1983. His name was Stanislav Petrov, and the decision he made in that freezing moment may have saved your life, your family, and billions of others. This isn't Hollywood. This is documented history from declassified accounts and Petrov's own interviews. If you're the kind of person who believes small human choices can rewrite the future, stay with me. Hit like right now if you want stories like this, and comment Petrov below so we know you're here for the full truth. The world in 1983 was a powder keg. The Cold War had reached a terrifying peak. Earlier that month, the Soviet Union had shot down Korean Airlines Flight 007, killing 269 civilians, claiming it was a spy plane. Tensions were sky high. NATO was running Able Archer 83, a massive military exercise that the Soviets feared might be cover for a real first strike. Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov, 44 years old, was a trained engineer serving in the Soviet Air Defense Forces. He wasn't a frontline soldier with a rifle. His weapon was his mind. On that night, he was the duty officer at Serpukhov-15, the secret command center southwest of Moscow responsible for the OKO satellite early warning system. OKO was brand new, designed to detect American ICBM launches within seconds. The system fed directly into the highest levels of Soviet command. A confirmed attack meant immediate retaliation under the doctrine of launch on warning. Mutual assured destruction wasn't theory. It was minutes away from reality. Petrov sat in that bunker, monitoring screens that watched the United States. The weight of the entire planet rested on his shoulders. The hidden truth is this: machines are fallible. Humans, at their best, are not. The OKO system had been rushed into service. Its creators claimed near-perfect reliability, but Petrov and others knew better. False alarms happened. Yet on this night, the alarms weren't just ringing, they were screaming with highest reliability. Sunlight reflecting off high-altitude clouds, combined with the specific orbit of the Molniya satellites, created signatures the system mistook for missile exhaust plumes. 5 times. From bases in North Dakota, the computer didn't lie. It simply saw what wasn't there. But Petrov had studied the system. He understood its limitations. And in that moment, he became the only thing standing between a computer glitch and the end of civilization. Before that midnight alarm, the world had already come dangerously close to the edge. The Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 was famous. But 1983 was quieter, more insidious. Both superpowers had thousands of warheads on hair-trigger alert. Leaders on both sides genuinely feared the other would strike first. Petrov's personal life reflected the era. A family man, he carried the quiet burden of duty in a system that rewarded obedience above all. The red phone in the bunker wasn't just a communication tool. It was the line that could unleash hell. Everything felt normal, until it didn't. The anchoring red screen on the wall had always been a background presence, technology to be monitored. That night it became something else entirely. The siren shattered the quiet. Launch. 1 missile. Then the screen updated. 4 more. 5 Minuteman ICBMs inbound. The system assessed it as a real attack with high confidence. Petrov's team panicked. Voices rose. Protocol was clear. Reported up the chain immediately. The Soviet response would be massive. Hundreds of missiles launched in retaliation while American warheads were still in flight. He froze. The red screen glared back at him. This object that had meant routine data now meant potential apocalypse. Mid-video CTA. If this story is hitting you as hard as it should, subscribe and turn on notifications. These are the forgotten moments that actually shaped our world. We're just getting started. Doubt flooded in. Why only 5 missiles? Every briefing Petrov had received said a real American first strike would be overwhelming. Hundreds of warheads to cripple Soviet retaliation. 5 made no military sense. Ground-based radar showed nothing. The satellites were new and unproven. Yet the red screen kept flashing its deadly verdict. Petrov later described sitting there, feeling like he was on a hot frying pan. He knew that if he was wrong, history would condemn him as the man who let his country be destroyed. If he was right, he might still be punished for breaking protocol. The system demanded certainty. He had none. Silence from the ground radar became his only ally. But time was running out. In those critical seconds, Petrov made his call. He reported the alarm as a false positive. He did not escalate it as a confirmed attack. The red screen that had screamed launch now represented something new, human judgment, overriding the machine. He picked up the phone. "False alarm," he said, his voice steady despite the chaos. His team stared in disbelief. For the next agonizing minutes, they waited. No explosions. No confirmation from other systems. The alarms eventually quieted. Later investigation proved him right. The satellites had mistaken sunlight on clouds for missile launches, a rare alignment never fully anticipated in testing. One moment of unexpected humanity. In the middle of that technological nightmare, Petrov thought not of grand strategy or ideology, but of ordinary life. He later reflected on the absurdity of it all, of how a reflection of the sun, like a child playing with a mirror, nearly ended everything humanity had built. In interviews, his voice softened when speaking of his wife and family, who knew nothing of his night shift for years. It wasn't heroism in his eyes. It was simply refusing to let fear make the decision for him. His prophetic words, spoken later, "I didn't want to be the one responsible for starting a third world war." That single line of documented honesty carries more weight than any speech by world leaders. This section of verified events shows how one man's calm reasoning in Serpukhov -15 prevented a chain reaction that could have killed hundreds of millions within hours. Petrov was not celebrated. He was reprimanded for improper documentation. His career stalled. The incident remained classified for years. He retired quietly, living in modest circumstances near Moscow. Only after the Soviet Union collapsed did the story emerge. In later life, he received international recognition, the World Citizen Award, the Dresden Peace Prize, and posthumously the Future of Life Award. He died in 2017 at age 77, his death unnoticed for months. The red screen that once terrified him became a symbol. Technology serves humanity, not the other way around. Today, as new tensions rise and automated systems grow more powerful, Petrov's story asks us, in an age of algorithms and instant alerts, who will be the human in the loop? What small action will you take when the screens scream and the stakes are existential? The moral dilemma remains. Do you follow orders that could destroy the world, or trust your reasoned doubt? Final CTA. If this story moved you, share it. Comment with your thoughts. Would you have made the same call as Petrov? What small action in your life could shape history? Subscribe for more meticulously researched human stories that changed everything. The world needs more people who remember names like Stanislav Petrov. Thank you for watching. History isn't just dates, it's choices. And sometimes, the smallest ones save us all.